Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Epic. The day has arrived. We're kicking it off. This is the first session of the YouTube track, and I've got Brian Kusko in the green room, and we'll bring him on in just 1 second. Tonight's session is going to be about telling your personal story on YouTube. When we were formulating this YouTube track, Brian stuck out in my mind as somebody who's probably about the most transparent and the most personal with his stories in our industry. And I think that takes a certain knack. I think it takes a certain drive and vision to deliver that on his channel. And clearly it resonates. So for all the nerds out there, Brian's got about 45,000 followers on YouTube. He's been at this particular channel at least 7 years. We'll get into if there was any prior to that or other YouTube endeavors. And that's the focus tonight that I want to dig into with Brian. I want to tell everybody thank you for being here. I want to say thanks to our sponsors. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we couldn't have brought this to life on this platform in this capacity without those sponsors, and of course the participants and you all, the audience. So I'm excited to get this kicked off. With all that being said, let's welcome Brian Kusko to the Epic stage.
Aloha, sir.
Aloha. How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic.
I'm pretty excited. Like, this is something we've worked hard for, and it's real. It's live, and we're going. This is for the record. This is not pre-recorded. This is Friday night right here, man. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being willing to do this. You have built a big name and brand for yourself, so I appreciate you lending that to us tonight. That's worth noting as well. So let's get right to it. Why YouTube? Why is it? What's the drive on YouTube? What keeps you there?
I just enjoy it. I really do. It's a lot of fun. And YouTube, that's why I found the snake community again when I moved back from Hawaii. As anybody that's followed my channel knows, that I lived there for a decade, and that was a whole hiatus of snake keeping that started when I was 4 years old. It was a 10-year period, and during that 10-year period, it's kind of like the internet started to evolve. In that time, I was gone, and so when I came back and decided I was going to get back into snake keeping again, it was through YouTube that I started to find like my people. People like Barchek, Mike Wilbanks had stuff up there, McCurley, Brian Gundy, who was a big inspiration of mine. I was actually just filming some stuff today. I donated some of my time to help our local pickleball club make a video for their website where I'm interviewing some of the members, getting a bunch of B-roll, running around doing stuff like that. And one of them was asking me, if they wanted to do a commercial or something in the future, like how to get a hold of me. And I said in my thing there, what's your business name? I was like, it's Triple B. And of course the question comes up, well, what does Triple B stand for? And I've had so many fun opportunities with that, because I even in my own mind, when I first started it, I had an idea of what Triple B stood for, but I didn't have a solid one. It was kind of flopping around. I had ideas of what the B's could stand for. And it makes me think back to this time, speaking of stories, like I was on Highway 101, and I'm driving by down to San Luis Obispo town. And there's this sign on the highway with big old billboard that says beds, burgers, and beers. And I'm like, wow, that's I'd be okay if it stood for that. So, and people were always asking on the channel, like, what does Triple B stand for? I got asked so many times, and I would never give anybody a straight answer. So,
have you ever actually said what it is?
Yes, I have. And I actually said it to the person today that was asking me what it stood for.
Oh, have you ever publicly said what it actually is?
I have, but the thing is, a lot of times I publicly said it, I was always either messing around or not. So the time I was doing that, I was like, I was the title of the video was like, what does Triple B stand for? Like, I'm finally going to reveal it. And the whole thing was going to go stand at that road sign at the big old billboard and be like, here it is. Bears, burgers, and beds. That's my inspiration. But before I did that, I was like, I was pulled off on the side. It's kind of not necessarily the best spot to pull off on Highway 101. You're coming down the grade and whatnot. And a CHP officer ended up coming up, and he was like, what are you doing? And I explained to him. I was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't know.
This is what I do.
Yeah, I was just filming like for the sign. They got this. Told him what I just told you basically, and so he's like, yeah. So what does triple B stand for? And I was like, that's the thing. I can't tell you. He's like, I was gonna let you off with a warning. He starts pulling out his book. I was like, wait, hold on a second. He's like, I'm just kidding. I can't. That wouldn't be right if I abused my authority like that. So I never
Well,
told.
well, so I was hoping for like the a Seinfeld Cosmo Kramer moment. Like, what does Triple B stand for?
Look, there it is. It's right there. Triple B TV. So the very first time when I thought of it, it was Brian's big balls.
Uh huh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that never actually, I don't think I've ever said that out loud.
With, I have
You're
no idea
welcome.
if you're trolling me now. If you're being serious, it's fantastic, and I don't care either way. I appreciate it. I can appreciate both angles, so we can we can leave it there. Did you? Okay, so you were talking about finding your community, and then you went over to Brian Gundy, and then we ended up on the Triple B. But did you set out on YouTube to find that community, or did you know that those people were there and you wanted to join that, or was it a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. I mean, I saw that people were there for sure. I was watching people there for sure. And then I don't know if I won a GoPro or something. I had already gotten into photography in Hawaii. So I got into still photography. So I really enjoyed camera stuff and learning how camera works and
Mm-hmm.
capturing cool images. So that had been something that I picked up towards the end of my stay in Hawaii. And then when I got that GoPro, I filmed a little video of just like my family going to the local lake and just like doing some stuff, and I recorded it, and I got the little GoPro app where I could edit the footage together, and it was like having way too much fun with like put it to music, and was like, where I guess I should share this. And I had one other video that I ever put to YouTube when I was in Hawaii. It was just some random clip of my buddy. It was like I was like the first YouTube short before YouTube Shorts ever existed. Way
There's
before.
a 12-second clip of
I mean, I filmed it vertically, but the YouTube didn't have vertical aspect
yeah,
ratios. So
okay.
it's like if you can actually go find it. There's a channel out there right now. It's like my first YouTube channel ever. It's called Music Man, but it's like MMMMUSICMANNNN. So like four M's at the beginning and four N's at the end of Music Man.
Oh,
And
okay.
and the first video on there is going to be a video called Adam Crow Loons Out. And it's just my buddy in my house. And he's got a fat stack of cash and he's just flipping through it. And he just goes, money, 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 money. It's money, money, money. Whoop, de, whoop, de, whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's the whole video.
It was TikTok before its time, huh?
It was, dude. It really was. We were way ahead of our time with it. This this was like '05 or something. I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay, so that was really early on. So
Yeah.
I went on the show prep. I went back to the first video on the Brian Kusko channel, and it was like I actually took like inspiration that it only had like 200 views even to this day, and I mean it not in a I don't mean it in a underhanded way. I mean it like we all started and we've all had the videos that have the 200 views, and now look at where you're at now. That was I just got a computer was that video.
So there's a reason for that. There was kind of a not smart or not well planned out start to my Brian Kusko channel, which is now the biggest channel of the channels that I've started. Um, I started doing some vlog stuff. So you're saying maybe there was some stuff before when you're doing your intro. You said
Right,
seven
that's right.
years.
Yeah.
Triple B TV was my first official YouTube channel,
Okay.
and that one I started in 2015.
Got
Um,
it. Okay, so about
that
3
one,
years before.
yes, that is the
Yeah,
one that is now rebranded to Redline Report. That's that
that's right.
same channel.
Okay.
So that channel, I was just doing like snake care stuff and like unboxing. My very first video was unboxing a bamboo ball python that I got from Mike Wilbanks, and my first couple videos were like that, just like a GoPro on my head, and I'm just unboxing snakes that I'm getting in and just kind of sharing about them, putting a little editing in there. I remember I thought it was really cool to say what the snake was and then repeat it in slow mo. So they're like, "This is a bamboo female," and then the edit goes, "Bamboo
Right, it
female."
brings your tone down. Like every X percentage that it slows down, it brings you a key down. Yeah,
Yeah, me just nerding out with editing, learning editing.
right.
And so I did a couple videos like that, and then I decided since the people that I watched on YouTube would talk to the camera and not just do what I was doing, I would try that out too. And I spent some time editing it and like really putting some time in it. It's who am I or something, or who do I think I am is something like the title of the video. It's just me kind of giving my story. It's the first time I actually shared kind of my story and like why I started YouTube and my desire to breed snakes and where that was coming from, and just kind of shared that. Really put a good amount of time into the editing, like lots of B-roll, lots of photos of like the things I was talking about and
Hmm.
shots like that. And but me talking to the camera was, I look back at it still sometimes and like, wow, that guy had no business turning the camera on himself at all. Um,
But that's a theme that I like because we all start there and you got to get the chops set. Like you got to learn. It's like, I know you play music and I play music. Like I tell people it's like that. You got to have the gigs that you almost bomb at, or you play at, your buddy's garage party before you ever go get a paid gig or whatever. Cause you got to get your chops. You got to get the reps in.
100%.
Yeah.
And you get those by doing it. You have to do it to
Right.
make it happen. So my point about the first videos there, the vlog channel I started because it was just kind of I've started to really enjoy sharing more personal stuff and not just making videos about snake care and this and that. And it started to seem like it was getting a little in the weeds. So I would have a playlist called Whatever Wednesday, which took inspiration from one of the like You Ain't Seen My Balls Facebook groups, where they would have a Whatever Wednesday day where you could post something besides ball pythons.
Oh, cool.
And so I would do that on the channel. It could be something. I think I once did a video like how to cut a pineapple, because I know a really cool technique for cutting a pineapple.
Hmm.
And some of the viewers were like, "Dude, this is like, come on." And so that, along with talking to other people like Dave Kaufman and Brian, and like some advice from them on like, do you think I should start a separate channel for this stuff? And uh, this consensus was that, yeah, start a different channel, keep the Triple B TV thing going once a week, and then start this other channel. And I was about to go on a trip with Brian to Indonesia, so I thought it'd be great to like have that vlog channel, because we're going to be filming every day, posting every day, like a
Hmm.
daily vlog style stuff. So I started that channel, but I had already had like 15 videos that I had filmed for the vlog that I was posting on Whatever Wednesday. So I took all of those videos and like uploaded them all at once onto that channel. So there's those first videos that you see on the Brian Kusko channel were all like uploaded like back to back with
Oh,
no kind
just
of
to
rhythm.
just out of the gate, just to have just a content drop to make a splash.
Right, which was probably not the right move. If logistically with YouTube is probably not the right move at all, but that's what I did.
Could you said you had some advice? Could you share some of that, or share some of the thoughts that go into what formulates a channel and what warrants a second channel? What does you? I mean, from a real technical and experience based standpoint, what does YouTube like and what doesn't it like? I mean, we all hear like the algorithm, but I mean, in your experience, or what made you? What were some of the deciding factors that said, okay, we're gonna make a second channel?
I mean, I'm still figuring some of that stuff out. I'm definitely not the expert on like what YouTube likes. Uh,
Right.
although I do have some good ideas. You know what? I do know, like in my brain, what YouTube likes, but what YouTube likes and what I want to do don't always line up. So there's that.
Fair point. Yeah.
Um, but I will say what YouTube likes is like, if whatever video you put out, if your audience enjoys that style of content, that's what you want to put out, and that's what YouTube likes. They want somebody to be able to like, oh, I really like this video from this guy. I'd like to watch another one, and the next video should be very much like that one that they liked in the first place, because that's why they watched it. And if that's not the case, then it might be a little all over the place. Like, you watch a video on like how to do this, and you want more information on that, but then the next video is like, here I am playing with my kids, which is definitely something that happens on my channel. It
Right.
has happened in the past, I should say. That's not necessarily what YouTube likes. They're not. It's too broad. You kind of have to focus in. Now you can have a vlog channel where it is just that, and um, but I find that the best content on YouTube, as far as performance, is the stuff that really blends well information and entertainment and realness. So like that magic three. It's like somebody can really learn something from it. They can get entertainment from it, and they can feel like it's not contrived, and they're getting it from a real person who is themselves and not putting on a front. That's like the magic trifecta, I think.
Have you found I don't know, an expression I use a lot really in life, but when it comes to YouTube especially, is there's an appetite for every flavor. Like I think anybody that is willing to be themselves can have some measure of success on YouTube if they work at it and get their chops and get some technical parts. But being an individual is I don't know, our human nature seems to struggle with that. What made you want to lean into that on YouTube? Because I think you do it better than most people. And like you say, you might have your kids on there. You talk about your family. You talk about some really honest struggles that you've gone through, as well as happy times. But things that other people might not want to share. What made you, I don't know, if comfortable or confident or willing to? Maybe you weren't comfortable or confident. I don't know, but you put it out there.
Yeah, you're right. Comfortable and confident are not necessarily the words. Willing, definitely
Right.
willing. It's definitely not always comfortable, and I'm not super confident. But I feel like part of me is making up for lost time because I was very introverted growing up,
Mm.
like to a fault. Like I would try to physically hide myself, like when I was in class, um, and so I'm making up for lost time there in a bit. And then also, it's the feedback you get. It's when you run into somebody at a reptile show and they express to you that how open and honest and real you were with them, how much of an effect it had on their life in a very real way. I've had people come up to me at shows and say that they were like in the depths of like either addiction or depression or both, to where they were
Wow.
like verge of self deletion,
Mm-hmm.
and and caught videos and that like help pull them out and help them realize that there was something more, that they could get through it. And when you have somebody share something like that with you in person and you're looking in their eyes and they're telling you that they watched your video and it helped pull them out of that, it takes away the lack of confidence and the no matter how uncomfortable you might seem in the feel about putting out something super personal about yourself out there, it takes away the potential sting or the negative feelings that could come from that and replaces it with, well, it's worth it though because of the story, that story I just told you, because of who you might be reaching and who might need to hear somebody be honest and vulnerable in a moment, and that overcomes the feelings of uncomfortability and lack of confidence.
Yeah, I didn't mean any disrespect, laughing or even snickering a little bit in there, but it hit me how insignificant compared to that. It hit me how insignificant any lack of confidence or lack of those issues seem so insignificant compared to what the other person was going through, that it almost must be freeing, where you're like, well, okay, yeah, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. This guy or woman or whoever is going through something way bigger, and they're finding solace in what I'm saying. Like I would feel empowered by that. That would be like an amazing opportunity or an encouragement or empowerment to be so open and vulnerable. Then,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah. We've one further question on sort of on that topic, and I don't think that you're unique. It's becoming more and more common. I mean, I think you're a unique person. This topic I don't think is unique, but we all hear we should all stay away from politics and religion. And I know that you very much leaned into your religious story and your religious journey in your channel as well. And what's been the result of that? Obviously, I think it's been positive for you. But how do you? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What's been your experience with that? Sharing that publicly on YouTube?
It's been mostly positive, I would say. It's definitely not all flowers and butterflies. When I first started doing it, man, I got some pretty bad comments, just
Yeah,
like which fortunately I was expecting,
yeah,
because of the research I had done and just being in the word, like you come to learn what's going to happen if you share about that stuff.
right.
Uh, so the positive is much more outweighed the negative in so many ways. Um, and which is funny that I even, like, part of me doesn't want to share, but I feel called to,
Hmm.
because part of me is just like, I don't want to tell people how to live their lives. Like that's not me. That's not. I don't think that that's the right approach at all, and I don't want to be super preachy because that's also not me. But at the same time, when you discover this thing, because I was not religious, I had actually very negative view of religion growing up, extremely negative view of religion, I will say. Um, So it's weird. I don't even consider myself religious. I know that might sound weird or it doesn't make any sense, but like I still don't like religion. um, but
There's a
that's a different meaning now than what it meant to me before. Um, like different rules and like there's just grace that covers so much. Um, and so that's the thing that's been positive, and just getting to connect with other folks that have that faith, and even getting to see it like take fruit at the shows. Like at the last Tinley show, we the last couple years we've been having a worship service in the morning at Tinley, just in the hallway where people line up before the
yeah.
show, and that's been growing, and just getting to see how it's affecting people's lives in a very real way, um, has been huge. And now like All American Reptile and Plant Expo, like is facilitating, like asking me to, but they're facilitating as well. Like I'm not going to take any more credit other than they asked me to help facilitate Sunday services at their shows and make that part of the show,
Hmm.
and and just the way that people have come together on that, and like the almost sometimes miraculous seeming ways in which things come together with virtually no planning. Whether it's like the guard that's definitely not going to let us in the building, with somebody on the walkie-talkie telling us don't let those people in the building, and then he still opens the door and lets us in, and then or like not really knowing what I'm going to teach about, or because I don't even feel like super confident in teaching because I'm not like studied in the scriptures my whole
Right.
life. Of kind of the opposite, and then not knowing what I'm gonna like. I have a thing picked out, and then sometimes like somebody else in the reptile keeping world that I had no idea was a pastor for 40 years shows up that morning. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll help out teaching with that. I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit. It's
Yeah, I've done this before. Yeah.
yeah, like, yes, yes. And so, um, the effect that it's had with other people, and man, there was a day, it was just Tuesday. It was April Fool's Day. I put out a stupid joke like I do every year, because I'm diabolical with my, as somebody described it, with my April Fool's stuff. And I am. I used to get my wife with it every year. And then I made her cry one year, and that was the end of that. And so after that, I take it out on everybody else. And so, but my joke was coming from, and we spoke about this on your stream the other day, it was coming from a very real place as much as it was a joke.
Right.
Um, and the amount of people that reached out from my life and from the industry around the country, um, that really just needed prayer for things was unbelievable. I spent basically my whole first half of the day into the afternoon just like on the phone with different folks, just helping walk through stuff and like get through some hard stuff that they're dealing with. And that's a huge blessing for me. One of the things that I've been gifted with, and I call it a gift because I've had it since before I even knew what it was, is that most people feel pretty comfortable opening up to me with stuff that they're struggling with.
Mm,
And I get life from it when they do that. And so it's like a win-win,
right.
because I feel like my life has purpose when I can be that for somebody, and then they get to open up and share. I can't tell you how many times somebody said, "I've never told anybody this," but blah, blah. And even at just last Tinley, it was a perfect example. Like so many people after our conversation would just be like, uh, "Thank you so much for listening," and I was like, "Thanks for sharing," because it's
Yeah.
literally filling my spirit to hear you share. Because I've never been much for small talk. You know, when people are just talking about this or that, I'm like, yeah, we like, when are we going to talk about something real?
Right.
Um,
Right.
and then the rest of the room kind of disappears when that happens, and it's just like I get to focus on somebody who's really sharing. And I love when a whole room starts to do that, and that happens in these religious circles a lot. Just
That's
people
true.
get in big groups and share very openly and vulnerably, and people get to grow from it and support each other in it, and it's pretty powerful stuff.
When almost like those two opposite ends of a magnet meet, there is a powerful moment, whether it's religion based or trauma based or anything else. Just when there's a person that wants to share and another person that's able to listen, it is a magical moment. And I think uh just off of the surface and an immediate opinion, I think when you put yourself out there personally and openly and even vulnerably, I think that is a really great signifier of the likelihood of empathy that'll be returned to somebody that does share that with you. So I think that's something that maybe you didn't realize you were cultivating, but I think that is probably the result of what you've put out there so personally and so genuinely. Not that you need my rating or judgment on it, but that's what strikes me on that, and as sort of as a takeaway for the audience too, of really connecting, because at the end of the day, like it seems like, and for me certainly, we all want to feel like we connect with something. Otherwise, why are we yelling into this abyss called YouTube or the internet? Like you said something earlier that I just, there's certain times it hits me. I'm in awe of our ability to reach people in this day and age. What a time to be alive. God knows there's all sorts of challenges in the world, but what an opportunity that we can reach people with whatever message we have. Hopefully it's a good, positive, healthy one, but whatever we want. Like this is, I mean, these numbers just dwarf billboards. I mean, and I mean, there was only, like when we were growing up, it didn't exist, like it's just an amazing time to reach people. You said, going back to the chat on the stream, but I thought it was a really great point. I thought you said in terms of jokes, but I think this translates to anything, that everything has to be rooted in a little bit of truth. You can have a whole lot of fun or make a great joke, but a great joke always starts with some truth or reality. Does that play into the process of your videos? I mean, is there a system or process of your videos? And does that, I mean, obviously being truthful and transparent and personal plays into it.
Yeah, there's a different process sometimes. Sometimes it's literally like I'll have something that I can't get off of my mind or heart, and like, okay, so I'm going to speak on this then, because it's all I can think about. And especially for the uncut videos, as you know, maybe yep. Everybody doesn't. I have one uncut video a week and one that is very edited. And so for the uncut videos, it's like I need to have something that I really want to speak on. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit there. And sometimes that does happen. I'll just start the camera and be like, oh, man, my train of thought is just like, do it. And that happens, but that's real. That's me. That happens to me all the time. And so it's like, I'm not putting something fake out there. That's just what's happening. And then sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll just base everything around that idea. And we're going to do that. And then I've also definitely been more recently with a lot of counseling from Clint's Reptiles, as well as a few other folks, but really Clint has really taken it upon himself to really want to see me do well and give me as much advice as possible based on what he's learned from YouTube and his success. And so I've really been leaning in and looking at like my algorithm, and so, not my algorithms, but my analytics, and like really trying to pay attention to what is working, what is not, and really lean in and actually do that, and not just be willy-nilly about it. Like, I can do whatever I want. This is my channel, and I can, but I do want it to succeed and continue to do better. So I'm leaning in on some of that. And then one of my most successful processes, I think, is having an idea, writing out a shot list of visual things that I want, and having some bullet points of topics that I want to make sure that, subtopics, I guess, of the main topic that I really want key points to hit on, kind of like an essay. Like, you're writing stuff in school, you want to have your key points and your concrete statement, or your thesis, whatever. Like, actually having a roadmap and a plot map out so that you have some kind of guideline as to what it is you're trying to accomplish with this video.
You should do a video of that process sometime. A lot of people, and we got to wrap up here in just a second, which I'm going to do. A lot of people are like, man, you take a lot of notes, Adam. And I'm like, yeah, because I have a plan. Like, I know where I want this thing. It doesn't always stay on the track. I never know when Brian's going to talk about what 3Bs means, but we'll go where it goes. But I do have a plan. Brian, take us home. Next 30 seconds is yours. Where can people find you? How can they contact you? And if we don't get the time, I want to make sure I say thank you for kicking off this epic conference this evening.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast. It seems so short. That means it was really good.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like we'd go for another 3 hours or something. So Brian Kusko, Kusko is the last name. Pretty much anywhere you want to find me, just Google it, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You can reach out to me there. I don't always see my messages, but sometimes they do come through. Every now and then I throw my phone number out there on the internet, and so people can get a hold of me that way too. I'll wrap it back up with the 3 Bs. Brian Barczyk and Brian Gundy were the two most influential people that got me started in doing what I do today. And that's three B's: Brian, and I'm the third B. So that's triple B.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it. I always look forward to hanging out with you. I'll see you soon in Colorado. And I hope that our paths continue to cross many times in the future. Thanks so
Yes,
much,
sir.
Brian.
Thank you, bro.
Good night.
Night.